relationships.
Well, that's a great point. More duct tape as well. Well, someone's got to make it, I guess. All right, so let's talk about what. So I don't know. I'm a dumb Pennsylvanian. What was this? The History Museum of New York? Like, what was this museum?
Met,
Anyone know?
Wasn't it?
Yeah, it's the Metropolitan
Cool.
Art Museum.
All right, and that's in New York, you say?
Yep.
Okay.
Really? That's in New York, huh?
I'm a dumb Keystone Stater.
Next to the fountain that
the Friends
filmed their opening.
All right, good. I think a lot of people are going to be irritated by the Dama and Bruegel's interaction at the beginning and how like flowery and over the top and showy it was, and they're going to probably hate on the dialogue. But as I was watching it, all I was thinking of was like Catelyn Stark and Renly Baratheon. And like in these new worlds, in these caste systems and societies, yeah, you're going to have some of these pleasantries and some of these over the topness. So I'm going to get out ahead of it. And before people hate on the dialogue there, I think it was just to kind of show power meeting power on a neutral playing field.
I thought it was great.
I loved it.
The Dama to me almost seemed a little uncomfortable too. Like
powerless.
Yeah, exactly. Like when she is at the theater, she is in her element. She is in charge. But now she's interacting with other people. She's having other people do this for her because she's not comfortable doing this.
It's a great call.
Well, and then the Croat, she knows he's a loose cannon. And anytime he's around, she's nervous, which is why she was like, telling Negan to keep him in check. But
can we discuss the Croat?
Sure.
Sorry, Becky, I just interrupted you. Becky, I'm sorry. What were you saying?
I honestly forgot what I was even going to say. Well, like it's more so going to the meal when she's like side-eyeing Negan the whole time. Anytime he opens his mouth. And she's just like, oh God, what's she going to say? So I don't know if she was she was not in her own turf, but she has the upper hand, period. And I think she's got a bigger army, so to speak, than he does. I think she was more worried that the Croat or something was going to screw up this deal because she obviously really feels like they need them to be able to fight. I keep wanting to call them the New Brunswick people. I know it's Babylon, but I don't know why New Brunswick.
That's Jersey, if I've ever heard it.
That's amazing. New Brunswick.
Hey, it would make sense because New Brunswick is right outside of New York.
It would. No, I hear you, and I am very intrigued to see more of the Dama both at home and at away games, because seeing her at this away game, she was very much out of her element, and she was scared. She was timid. She was afraid, and she, for the first time in this series, I feel like we saw her not in control. We've always seen her in a controlled environment, a controlled setting. And here, she was really letting chance be in control because that's all she could do. And I thought that her interaction with Negan and Croat and all that was fascinating because at the end of the day, Croat was right every step of the way. The Croat was right about everything. He knew that Bruegel was bringing them in to try and get some of his own. He knew that there was something off about his fighter. The problem is, no one respects the Croat, and regardless of how right he is, like he has no power attached to him. And that's, if only Negan and Croat would realize what a good 1-2 punch they are in this scenario, they'd be some of the best negotiators. But you could just tell that they are set up to be very adversarial moving forward.
She plays them against each other, like choosing Negan to ride in the back seat of the car. And he basically was like their chauffeur. You're right. She would be very smart to encourage them to work together. But for whatever reason, she seems like she toys with them both.
She does.
But I don't quite fully understand that. But if I could say one funny thing with the Croat, where Pierce is in the trunk and the Dama, when they get there, she's like, don't forget anything in the car. And then when they're putting Pierce back in the trunk, and Pierce is like, you don't have to do this anymore.
I did thoroughly enjoy that as well. I don't know what we're getting out of Benjamin Pierce, but I'm intrigued.
That alone was amazing.
That was funny.
Well, Benjamin actually plays a very important role in this episode as well, because we talked a little bit about it last week, in that he has this recollection of recognizing her from somewhere. It's kind of what led us down our theories as to who she might be. And he has a revelation this episode. He remembers exactly who she is. She is a theater critic. She is one of the most powerful was one of the most one of the most powerful theater critics in New York City at the time that she did that. But he also recollects a story about her that I love. That he was about to tell the story. The Dama gives him this look as in like, we don't need to talk about this. But Negan is like, no, I want to hear this. He edges Benjamin on to tell this story, in which we find out she is somebody who has a temper, like to the point where she bit somebody.
I was not expecting that when she came out with it.
She Tysoned someone.
I want to know where she bit him. Like, I'm envisioning that she bit him on the cheek or something. Like, damn, she was a walker before there were walkers. But I have to say, Benjamin Pierce, know when to shut the hell up. My God. Like, first off, clearly the Dama didn't want to be recognized. So, oh my God, did you know this lady, she was super powerful until she did this one really crazy thing. That's what this crazy ass thing she did was. Nah, you know what? I can't say it. It's too personal.
You know what I loved
killed me.
She took, though, when Negan was getting his jollies about hearing the story and her, kind of being taken down a peg, and she immediately asks Pierce for the book to see, because she wants to see that drawing, and then starts talking about Herschel and puts Negan right back in his place.
Oh, yep.
Oh,
yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was going to be my next note as well.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's totally fine. She sends him right down to below her.
She knows exactly how to just stab low, just dig in low, and well played. God, she is fun to watch. Let me ask you, her being a Broadway theater critic, were you overwhelmed, underwhelmed, or just like 10 Things I Hate About You, just whelmed by that revelation? Where did you guys land on that?
Underwhelmed.
The
fighting part was great, but
for sure.
I thought too, like everyone else, I thought she would have been. I think it would have been more interesting had she been a performer. It would have brought more to her character.
Okay.
There was truth in what I said earlier. I wasn't saying it as kind of a dig. There was truth in what I said earlier, because it's been kind of a common thing in the theater society, is that critics are people who couldn't cut it on stage. So her being in the theater and seeing the star on the door, this was her imagining what her life could have been, but what never was. So she became a critic instead. You judge what you couldn't be a part of. And so I wasn't underwhelmed, but I wasn't overwhelmed either. It was whelmed, as you said, Alex.
You were whelmed.
You jokingly
I love it.
It solidified my theory that she is definitely somebody with culture and knows culture, knew the music, knew the shows, that theater was a familiar place for her, as I said last week. And being a theater critic, it would have been. So it wasn't exactly what I predicted, that she was a Broadway star, but it was still along the same line. So I wasn't underwhelmed. I wasn't overwhelmed. I was kind of just okay with everything, because it kind of solidified what my theory was about her.
No, that makes perfect sense. I think for me, I was fine with it. The biggest problem I had was Benjamin describing that, and maybe I'm wrong here, guys, but the thought that a Broadway / theater critic could practically run New York City. I have questions about that position holding that level of power in that location. So that was just kind of one of my biggest qualms. I couldn't get past when he said that she ran New York City.
No, there's definitely truth to that too. I mean, wow. Theater shows, just like restaurant reviews, theater shows and restaurant reviews live and die by their critics.
I guess that's true. For that subset of the community, yeah.
If a well-known critic comes in, whether it's theater, movie, food, anything, if a critic comes in and gives you a negative review, it can shut you down.
That's fair. So I also want to see
holds
the play
a lot
that
of
she
power
inspired.
that way. Yeah. But she she held a lot of power in that sense. If she was that renowned of a critic, she definitely was powerful.
Okay.
That's how I see it.
I like it. So when they were at the art museum with Bruegel, and he had shown them the phenomenal painting of Washington crossing the Delaware, and he asked Negan, what do you think of art? Negan's like, I'm more of a movie poster guy. I was curious, what movie poster do you guys think is Negan's Mona Lisa? Like, what is his most ideal? I would love to have that on my wall.
Field of Dreams.
Oh my God! I was gonna say, what's the one with Robert Redford?
That narrows down.
I know. Yeah.
The Natural.
The Natural.
Yep. Oh shit,
dude, Ben! Wow,
that's a great call. I surprisingly did not go baseball.
Well, I mean, if you think about
it, his backstory.
He carries Lucille.
Correct.
He was a gym teacher.
He was
a good dude with a loving wife.
I was going James Dean Easy Rider just because of the leather jacket.
Fair.
That could work too.
You know, I feel like he would have been just classy enough to go that deep into the Criterion collection.
No, I
Negan, like that though.
I see Negan in his basement man cave in a normal world with Field of Dreams, The Natural, Bull Durham, these kind of posters in his basement.
I think he's got an Indiana Jones somewhere in there just to show that little bit of 80s culturing.
Little culture, yeah.
Absolutely. I like it.
I'm glad you asked what movie poster Negan had. I thought you were going to ask what movie posters do we have, and I'm like, I am a movie poster person, so
you sure are. I didn't know how much time we would have. We're already at an hour. I didn't want to go through all that. But the Negan one, that was a fun question.
That was a fun question.
What else do you guys think about Brugelheimer and his whole world? And is there anything that, I guess, from the Bruegel side that wasn't hit on yet? I feel like I've covered him for what I wanted to say, at least for now.
I think he's quite dramatic. That whole Last Supper style table setup.
That was amazing shot.
Disgusting food.
Oh.
Oh God. Oh, that just
New York's finest rat.
I was eating pad thai when watching that. I was like, I'm going to save that for later.
And that was just the appetizer,
right? They were having rat thai.
Yeah, yeah. And it looked. I mean, you could cut it up and don't make it.
There's like a little barbecue glaze
on your plate, though. Oh,
that's true. They could try.
But I loved when he and Negan are setting up, the fight is happening, and Negan's his typical cocky self, and Bruegel thinks he's got it because Negan doesn't want any armor or anything like that. First he chooses the oil, and then he sets the rule, well, no contact, but yet he jumps in, trying to get Negan's walker, I don't even know, warrior or whatever, champion to come over to distract him so that Tony can get him. And then Negan makes that split-second discovery, and I'm assuming he saw his eyes.
He saw
the
his
man's eyes were human. That's what it was.
I think he also heard him wheezing.
Oh, did he?
Breathing, wheezing. That's what the subtitles told me.
Oh, okay. I need to start watching more stuff with subtitles. But and then he's getting ready to boast, and Negan shakes his hand, and I love that Negan didn't out him to everyone, right. That he quietly let him know, hey, I know what's up. And then Bruegel's like, and okay, so despite this, we're gonna go ahead and be on your team, and there are going to be no addendums. And just well played, but well acted by both of them.
Well, because knowledge is power. I mean,
yeah.
Negan holds a secret, and he's the only one that knows this secret.
But now the secret's worthless, is it not? And it cannot be proven.
No,
because Tony is dead.
But
that was the point.
Yeah, but if the secret got out, Christos or whoever, and all of these people, all of this wealth that he's accumulated because of this cheating, they all would have come back for their stuff, and he would have been left with nothing.
Oh, for sure. Now, my question is, do you throw a fight? Do you put him up against a Christos guy for like, let's fight for a couple of watermelons? Oh my God, you killed my champion. What? Because now he's a zombie. So how did that happen? Christos, your fighter's so good.
Yeah, I mean, one way or another, this was not ending well for Bruegel. I mean, either Tony was going to die during that fight, or he had to kill Tony himself, because otherwise, I mean, that's the only way to get rid of the power that Negan has over him, is to get rid of what is giving him the power, is that secret. Eliminate the secret. He's already agreed to the deal, but now Negan has nothing else on him.
Right.
He got rid of the one thing Negan had on him. In that moment, he had no choice.
Yep. And I think maybe that's what we're being set up for this year, because we're giving reasons to sympathize at times with the Dama. We're giving reasons to cheer for Pearly. So are they giving us Bruegel as the big bad, or as the sub big bad? Like, where does because he showed off his viciousness. Oh, you're officially of no use to me. I've had you as my pet / friend for 20 years pre and post apocalypse. You dead. So are they just showing us that like he's just super duper cold and he's going to be the big bad? What do you think on that? Because we're only at the halfway mark of the season.
Well, the way they had him look, basically say he has a plan and look out over Central Park, leads me to believe that he is going to sidestep the Dama, try to get to these groups of people, and then go after, create his own army and go get the methane from the Dama.
Okay.
That's, I could be reaching way far, but the way he looked out, it made me think, okay, he knows they're out there. He knows why the Dama needs him, because there's this army coming and they're all out there in Central Park right now. Because he asked at the beginning, did you get what you needed from Central whatever? And she was like, no.
He definitely is a swarmy kind of person who would go back on a deal that he made.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if he was willing to cheat for 26 matches,
true,
by putting a human being in a match,
a human being in 26 matches, that is just some cruel and unusual behavior.
Then how he is absolutely eating live rats.
There's something. I mean, Tony was a broken spirited man. Poor Tone. Poor Tone. God, he hates it.
But I mean, so yeah, he's definitely swarmy enough that he's going to go back on that deal. I could absolutely see this becoming a war for New York City between multiple factions. I mean, it is going to be like the Warriors.
Yes,
it's a comparison that was made already, but I can absolutely see that happening.
Oh, 100%.
Everybody thinks they're in power when in fact nobody is really in power.
Yeah.
And they're just going to clash.
Yep.
And there will be casualties, and there'll be people caught in the middle. People like Negan, who,
man,
I kind of want to switch gears and kind of shift it from Bruegel to Negan.
Do it.
Because I am even more convinced this week that we are not getting the old Negan back.
No, we're not. He's
we're
good
not.
guy Negan.
I've been saying it since the beginning of this season. This
right.
is all a facade. And I said it last week when he didn't have Lucille. They didn't give him Lucille. Lucille is a toy they allow him to play with, and it is for visual presentation. That is it. He had it this week. Why?
Sure,
because he was going to meet Bruegel. He had to have it in his hand to give that representation of the person that they want Negan to be. He's not that person. The old Negan would have let Tony die.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he would have killed him himself.
The old Negan would have let Tony die in that fight, or killed him himself, cheated to let Tony die. But when he found out he was actually alive, he saved his life for maybe an hour.
Yep.
Not knowing what it was. But at the same time, when he jumped in, that was for twofold. That was twofold reason. One, it was to get the advantage in the fight because of what Bruegel was doing, but he was also doing it as a distraction so Maggie could escape.
Absolutely. Yep. And that seems fantastic. She really was stuck. I don't know if either of you guys have ever played Final Fantasy VII, but it reminded me of the scene where you're trying to sneak past the guards and you have to go behind the statues in the Shinra Tower. And that part always pissed me off because I kept getting caught. And good on Maggie for not getting caught.
I get your reference,
she did,
but I'm sure
though.
you half of people
don't. I didn't get it.
See,
but I'm not a big gamer. My games were all Nintendo games, and then Tiger Woods, 1998. Ooh. That's probably the last time I've played a game. But the Dama caught her. They locked eyes, and Maggie realized that's who was in the picture. Which I know we're on Negan, so I'll.
No, it's totally.
She did kind of get caught.
That was really all I had to say about Negan. I mean, it kind of speaks for itself throughout this episode that we are not getting old Negan back. I'm not saying we're going to get Negan the hero because he's definitely still doing some underhanded things, but he's doing it for the sake of his family. And when we get that face to face with Maggie and Negan again, he is genuinely surprised to see Maggie.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And tried not to tell her why he couldn't bail. And she figured it out. What does she have on you? Which I don't think she's got his family, by the way. I
said that last week.
I agree with you. I think she's been hanging that over his head.
Yep. She's saying what he wants to hear.
Yeah.
She's saying it a lot.
And I don't want to come off as a Negan lover or a Negan defender. He still did horrid, disgusting, gross things. So I'm not saying when I talk in my feedback at how I like how Jeffrey D. Morgan is playing is doesn't want old Negan to come out. You penance is penance and you got to pay it. But I do like that we are, and I'd love to have a conversation with Jason about this is all happening because Jeffrey Dean Morgan wants Negan to be a hero. And maybe he does. That's his, I don't know, but the story wouldn't work anymore if you just have the same Negan. What I am enjoying more than anything, aside from the post-apocalyptic New York shots that we're getting, is seeing Negan try to be better. You can't be forgiven for all that you've done, but you can try to be better. And he is genuinely trying to be better. And he's in a crappy situation. He told Maggie where the methane was. He told Maggie some hard truths. Like, your kid you can't trust him. He's not doing it maliciously. He's doing it because he knows he wronged Maggie a long time ago, and he's doing the best he can to make it right. He will never be a hero, but I do like that he's trying to be a better person.
But on that note, too, at the same time, when you talk about him jumping into the Octagon area to make the distraction for her, there's a realization in Maggie in that moment, too, because she's seeing the length that he's going to so that she can escape, so that she can get out. Negan, this is not Negan. I mean, Negan would have never done this before. He would have left her to fend for herself. But he is putting his own self at risk, both physically and in the cover of the Dama and the Croat and Bruegel and all these people, so that she can get out. And I mean, you're right. I don't think he'll ever be a hero, but he is. I said this a little bit last week too. I don't think it's so much trying to be a better person. I think it's more he doesn't want to be the person he was. And he is, in essence, a prisoner. Even though Maggie says, well, you look kind of free to me, he is still a prisoner. He is being coerced into doing these things by the Dama, by the Croat, because she's holding his family ransom, a family we don't even know if they're still actually coming.
Right.
But he has to trust that there's a possibility. For their safety, he has to believe this is true.
And she obviously does know where they are.
Right.
So,
or should be or could be.
Yeah.
Or she could have made that up too, because he himself has said he just sent them on their way. He has no idea where they are.
True.
I didn't think about that. You're right. So yeah, that adds to me thinking she does not have his family.
I mean, she could be a really good storyteller and made this whole thing up to make him believe this.
I did find that she mentioned his family like several times this episode. And I thought to myself, like, you're really leaning into this one, you know, like you really do keep bringing it up.
Well, she's worried she's losing her grip on him.
Yeah. She sees how good he is.
Do you think with her seeing Maggie that she knew Negan jumped in the ring to distract, or do you think she put two and two? I just worry who's going to suffer if she realized why Negan did what he did, or
Becky, I never even considered
enough?
it. You're so right. She is going to, I would imagine, but then she invited him into the backseat of the car. So I don't know, but you're right. Is she going to put the two and two together of, oh, that's Maggie. Oh, Negan was in the, I did not consider that, but she seems smart enough to put that two and two together.
Yeah, I hope not.
Well, I mean, don't forget too, in that scene where Washington Crossing the Delaware is on fire, she catches the door closing.
Yes.
She did.
So she knows somebody is there, because it wasn't the Dama or the Croat or Negan or anybody that lit that fire. That was the distraction that Maggie, Herschel, and Pearlie made.
Yep. Absolutely, yes. And I'm pretty sure that was Herschel behind that door.
Oh, yeah.
Because, he was definitely the one that set the fire. Thank God he picked the perfect painting in that place. Woo! What are the odds of all the paintings it would be Bruegel's very favorite one?
Oh my God, when he looked at his people and was like freaking out, put it out, throw yourselves on it.
Throw yourself on it.
It was amazing. One of the best like freakouts, but I'm not going to do anything about it reactions I've ever seen in my life. It was phenomenal. Phenomenal.
But it further goes on to my theory that he is somebody who is very cultured in this. Like the fact that he would tell people to throw themselves on a painting that's on fire. He has more compassion for that painting than he does for his own people.
Yes. 100%. Yes. Oh, man. I love it. We have barely talked about the New Babylonians yet.
There's not much to talk about.
Okay.
There really isn't. There's a little bit. Go ahead, Becky. You're brimming.
I am good. This is the only time I'm ever going to say anything. Probably the only time I'm going to say anything decent about Navarez, right?
Oh, dip. Here it comes.
I couldn't help it. So first, I would like them to consider restyling her hair. I just want to call her the haircut.
I mean, that's fair.
It's a beautiful woman. But give her a better haircut.
She's got 24/7 helmet hair. It's the weirdest thing.
It's like seriously.
Not flattering at all.
But they made her like maybe 1.89% human to me by her. I was annoyed when she caught Jenny with her gun, and I was like, okay, here we go. Because she was annoying with Pearlie when he pulled rank and all that stuff. But the way she just empathized with Jenny and understood, okay, when I got to New Babylon, everybody thought I was a freak. Nobody cared. And whatever that general whose name she passed, who died on the boat, she took me in and she, cared for me or whatever, even though I don't think she really taught her the greatest stuff that, retribution is the only way. But when Jenny was honest with her about why she was there, why she took the gun, and she said, I want to kill the man who killed my father, just the great acting she did by softening just enough to make her, okay, she does have some compassion. She does have some empathy. And then she let her keep the gun. And she was like, she taught me that, no crime can go unpunished. So here you go. And then they gave her a good aha moment when she was like, is his name Negan? I like that they gave her some intelligence and that she was putting something together. So she's still my least favorite character, but I liked that little bit that we got this episode with her.
So there's something to be revealed from that moment when she says to Ginny, is his name Negan? Because remember, Pearlie claims he killed Negan.
Mm-hmm.
So if she's saying that Ginny is going there to kill Negan, she knows Pearlie's lying.
I agree. And I read that scene a little bit differently in that the entire time I read that Navarez was making a play. This whole thing,
really?
giving her it was a play. I barely believe the story of that gun being a personal memento. I think maybe that was just a piece from the armory, or else she would not have given it to Ginny, for God's sakes, of all people. That level of memento. I'm just saying, why? She doesn't even trust her. That seems silly. I think
she needs an ally.
Yes.
Maggie
Against Pearlie.
And Pearlie are not with her.
Correct.
She needs an ally.
Correct. And that's why I think she was manipulating, not empathizing, but manipulating Ginny of saying, you know what, girlfriend? I am so on your side. Why are you here? Oh my God, you want to kill the guy that killed your dad? What'd you say his name was? Negan? Bet. That's what I thought. I think she was going on a fact-finding mission that whole time. She probably knew the story of why is Ginny here? What is Ginny's purpose and role? Like, oh, that was Negan's, but like he killed her dad. It's a weird story. Like,
Alex, that 1.35% that Becky gained for Lucia.
It was 1.89.
I just erased all of it, didn't I? I'm so sorry.
Now she's haircut again. Way to go, Alex.
I know. But she's definitely making a play. I definitely think she's making a play. And the reason I especially think that is because Pearlie has become really competent the last 3 episodes and like really natural and normal and a lot less of a caricature and more of an actual human being person. And I'm thoroughly enjoying it. So I think they are going to bring that Navarez versus Pearlie dynamic into it. And they're softening him up and strengthening him. They got to really give her some level of sanding down and make her a little bit more of a person. So I like the idea that they're making her smart and not just a hothead and like able to manipulate the situation, but I do think she's manipulating it.
So on the note of this entire scene, I want to kind of switch to the Ginny side of things.
Awesome.
Because I have an interesting theory. So when Navarez says to her, like, why are you here? She says, and because I wrote it exact word for word, I'm here to kill the man that killed my father. We had said, like, we don't think she's there to kill Negan.
Mm-mm.
I still don't think she's there to kill Negan. She never named the man she was there to kill. As far as Ginny knows, probably because of rumors of what Pearlie said and everything, either she's there to kill Pearlie because she thinks Pearlie killed Negan, the man who she looked to as a father for a while, or she knows the truth because she was there in New York before, saw the trade-off. She's there to kill the Croat.
Ooh.
Or
do you think she could be after Maggie?
I think it is still. Here's the joy of Ginny.
She had an opportunity to kill Maggie before they even left.
Several.
That's true.
Super true.
Same with Pearlie. That's why I'm leaning more towards the Croat.
I like that. I like that. Yeah, but I mean, you kill Pearlie, like you're done for. You kill a colonel in the Allied forces or whatever, like you're pretty screwed. But I feel like Ginny definitely did not mean. Or like her intention was not to give off the impression that she is killing Negan. I don't think that's what she meant with whatever she did say. And I'm really excited to see what her game is, what her end game and what she's playing at is. I think they have done a phenomenal job of letting her talk without her talking too much and just letting her be very mysterious. And I don't always know what's going on behind Ginny's eyes. And I love that. I do.
And it's not obnoxious. It's not.
No,
it's
so really well handled.
Played. I love an actor or actress who can take such little dialogue and do so much with it. And she really does a great job.
Absolutely, like Hodor.
Oh
yeah.
Hodor. All right. I thought I had. So I don't think we want to get.
I got a couple of.
Please.
Just the conversation with Maggie and Armstrong. I really liked it.
I have that too in my notes, talking
3.
about the old world.
Yeah, and then
you know who didn't love that conversation? Herschel.
No,
man, he could not give 2 shits about the old world.
But what he said, really, when they're on the rooftop waiting for, are they waiting for, or Herschel's off to the side brooding, and Armstrong opens up to Maggie about his kids, and he says, "It's strange to think I'm fighting to bring back a world my daughters never knew. How much of it is for them or for us?" So Herschel had a little pissy rant, but he's right. The Herschel and I forget that these kids don't know anything other than this world. So everything that these adults know, they're fighting to bring back. And then, Herschel's talking about, well, all it does is bring people kill each other and destruction. But if I'm being honest, the current world is the same. It's not the end result isn't any different.
I think power begets power, and no matter what, if you have any kind of settled colony, then folks are going to come after what you have or what have you. I do think that it is an interesting way of looking at the next that second generation of ZA kid with Herschel, and that he doesn't care about the old world because he's so fascinated by the new world / the current world and what's possible inside of it that he has no interest really in going back in time. He just wants to go forward with what the new reality is. And I think that there is something, I don't know, there's something a little bit noble to that idea of no, let's not cling on to the past. We're never going to get breakfast sandwiches again, so let's not even think about it. Let's see what we can do with the world as it stands now.
Yeah.
I mean, but I'm right there with Maggie, though. Living in a world without Kit Kats sucks.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. And they sang the song.
Fancy Feast.
Yep.
So I can't hear the Kit Kat song without remembering in The Office, break me off a piece of that Fancy Feast. So that's where I went with it. No, that was Andy. Andy could not remember what the product was. And
good
it was
old
glorious.
Andy Bernard.
And but I one thing when we were going through the feedback and Maggie was everybody was kind of beating down Maggie for being the way she is right now, and I get it. She's not the Maggie that we all loved from the farm to the prison on, but her admitting to Armstrong that she seems hard on the outside, but deep down she's terrified all the time. I think that spoke volumes to getting inside of Maggie's head right now. And then finding out her son is...
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I think it's one of the things that this show is doing really well, and I think a lot of people might have issues with it, is they're so used to these two characters being these particular ways that very similarly to how Herschel just wants to, he doesn't want to worry about the past, he wants to look to the future, but Herschel and Maggie are so stuck on the past, or I'm sorry, Pearlie and Maggie are so stuck on the past that they want to make changes. We get stuck on these idolizations of particular things, and viewers are doing that with Maggie and Negan, whereas this show has added so much complexity to these two characters that we never saw before. We saw them as these one-note characters before, and one note's kind of insulting. They weren't really one-note characters. They were complex characters, but they're so much more complex because now you're dealing with Maggie being a badass, juggling that being an afraid mother. You're dealing with Negan, who is a horrible, deplorable person, but is trying to make amends for things that he's doing. You're adding these new elements to these characters that I think some people are struggling with the fact that it changes these characters. And they kind of don't want to adapt to those changes. And I'm not saying this as a derogatory thing towards people that are watching or listening. I just think some people have trouble with it.
Yeah, I think so too.
That makes sense.
No, that makes perfect sense, and I agree with you. And maybe that's a lot of where people are kind of diverging or breaking off from season 2, or it's not meeting them where they had hoped it would, because of all those things. I think that's a really, really solid point.
And it's ballsy for the showrunners and writers.
It really is.
For sure.
To take Negan and do what they're doing with Negan, to take Maggie and do what they're doing, to take Herschel and do what they're doing.
Yeah.
I do give them credit for trying to give us something that's not cookie cutter, The Walking Dead. And it's why I continue to watch, because I'm like, okay, where is this going to go?
I thoroughly enjoy the story that they're telling me, the world that they're in, and the navigating that we're doing inside of it. Is it at times a little silly, a little campy? Sure, but it's a zombie apocalypse. That's half the fun. So I'm going to stick with. I love this show. I do.
I look at it this way. Last season we had 6 episodes, so it was a shorter season. It was It was a reintroduction to Maggie, to Negan, to this, and to the city. This season is extended in that it's 8 episodes. We're getting the same characters, but we're bringing in new characters in the Dama. We're diving further into the Croat. We're meeting Bruegel. We're meeting all these other characters. We met Christos, and we're gonna see him again, I'm sure, down the road. We're getting more with Lucia. We're getting more with Pearlie, and I have a feeling that if greenlit for a 3rd season, the 3rd season is going to be fantastic.
I would agree.
It is my hope, because seasons 1 and 2 are setting up.
They're builders.
What this story is going to be.
Yeah,
I agree. It'd be an all-out war. Ugh.
It's a lot to ask somebody to make that kind of investment in time.
True.
Because you're talking, 3 years at this point now?
Yeah.
And 2 seasons. It's a lot to ask people to make that investment into building to the story that they want to tell. But
yeah, it is.
I have a feeling, and I could be wrong, I have a feeling if we stick with it, it's going to pay off.
I think so too. There's no doubt in my mind.
I mean, if they give me St. Patrick's Cathedral that was mentioned in this episode, that's where the methane is.
I want to see Times Square.
Just give me.
Yeah.
Well, we get it in the preview, so usually they deliver what's in the previews in the episodes.
So. You know what, Ben? I still want Lady Liberty. We still need to get. We need to get Negan hanging out with Lady Liberty at least once. How is he not?
He needs to see the Statue of Liberty.
Sure does.
Well, he's got to get free from the Dama's reign, though, before he can go pick his own residence.
Well, I suppose that's fair.
Maybe Herschel ends up there.
I still think she might. It could be. I think she's going to gift him the Statue of Liberty, but we'll see. He's got
Negan or Herschel?
Negan. I think Herschel she wants to keep very close under her thumb.
I don't think the Statue of Liberty is hers to gift.
Damn. Because
you're talking about the opposite side of Manhattan.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. Because there's different.
Maybe that's
crews.
Christos then.
Yeah.
Or
there are other crews out there that we haven't even met yet.
Oh, that makes sense too. The Druids.
Oh.
I said it wrong, but I said Gruads or something. I like the Gruads, but no, I meant the Druids.
I mean, look, we talked about this last season. The Statue of Liberty is set on its own. I wouldn't be surprised if that's just a colony of survivors that are out there.
That'd be awesome.
Like separate from the city.
Yeah.
I also would not be surprised if the Statue of Liberty is the last thing Negan sees.
Oh, okay. Okay.
When this story is said and done,
yep,
it's the last thing he sees.
I like it. Oh, that'd be poetic. That'd be nice.
What if it's Daryl, Carol, and Laurent?
Laurent.
Oh, wait. You all don't watch...
Nope.
No, I saw season 1.
So that
I don't.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. I understand. I keep up with the talk.
It's where Aaron's hanging out.
Oh, amen to that.
I would love to see Ross come back on.
Anywhere, any of the shows I would be in for.
The only other note I have that we haven't really discussed yet is the reuniting of Herschel and the Dama.
Yeah, it was not tender. It wasn't warm. It was businesslike. I don't know. What'd you read at?
It's mysterious because all we see is we see them face to face. She acknowledges that it's Herschel. And then the next thing we see is Herschel's climbing back up onto the roof to meet Maggie and Pearlie.
Yeah,
man. They didn't give us any dialogue between the two of them because it just part of what is keeping Herschel cool to me, other than just being a brooding teenager, is that there is something going on in his head, and I like not knowing all of what that is.
Ditto.
But it does give me sense, though, that there is more. There's something devious to her inviting Negan in the car with her.
For sure. A part of that could even be to show the Croat that he stood that line and Negan saved the day, so he gets the cookie. But
that's what I think.
I hear you too, though, that with the Herschel aspect of it, it does. And then Becky, when you're pointing out that she saw Maggie and she saw Herschel, put the two and two together, most likely, especially if Maggie does an assault on the cathedral. How else is she going to know that information but from either Negan or Herschel? It's more likely to be Negan. So you're right. That this is another really good setup episode. And there have been a lot of setup episodes. And I think the fans need a payoff episode pretty soon. I think folks are going to get restless without some payoff on something soon.
I hope so. I mean, like you said, we're halfway through the season now.
Yep.
This was episode 4. We've got 4 episodes left. So we're at that halfway point. Hopefully now we're going to start ramping up to some more stuff as we move forward. Any final notes from anybody? Anything left that we haven't discussed that you want to bring up?
I'm good.
Becky, how about you?
I think I did love Maggie using Negan's whistle to get his attention.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah. That was really, really cool. I enjoyed that thoroughly. I also liked how Maggie accepted pretty quickly that Negan wasn't Negan and that he was just being show Negan. I really appreciated that we didn't have to go 3 episodes of back and forth like, well, are you still him? Or whatever.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, okay.
Do that again.
Are you still him?
Thank you.
You're welcome. But no, I'm happy that like she figured it out pretty quickly, and that kerfuffling is over. Like they're cool. She understands why Negan is doing what he's doing, and they kind of just like whoop, and we're done. So yes, I like that scene.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Last thing I have that I did not cross out is Herschel not knowing what a fire alarm is.
And then being really, terrible at describing what a fire alarm is. Like, they were awful at explaining what that means, for the record.
They didn't do a good job.
They did not.
They were caught off guard, like, oh, right. This guy was like, this kid has no idea what a fire alarm is, and I'm old, so there.
It's like when you go to a cocktail party and you're hanging out with a bunch of guys that are in banking, and you're like, I got a savings account, like I know that much, and everything they're talking about is just like way over, and you're just like, I have nothing I can contribute to here.
Roth IRA, I got a jar that I keep changing.
Does that mattress count?
Yeah.
I'm freezing my assets in the freezer. That's correct, right?
It's also like talking to teenage kids nowadays, and they say words, and I'm literally Googling it. I don't want to ask and not look hip, but I'm Googling it because I have no idea what you just said.
Still have no idea what the hell a skibbity toilet is, but
I never will. But I force them to define it for me. I'm like, you know what? You're going to use these dumbass words. What does it mean? Okay, you have to actually say to me what it means. Oh no, I'm hip, Becky. It's cool.
What did you say? I'm Googling it.
Skibbity toilet.
Skibbity toilet.
Yeah.
Oh dear God.
Yeah, and apparently Michael Bay is making a movie.
You know, I saw that on Entertainment Weekly.
Never use the bathroom again. Don't Google that. Wow, that scared me.
That was outstanding. That was a live reaction, folks.
I was, and I apologize. Feel free to edit that out.
Oh, no, that's staying in.
That's staying in.
That is 100% staying in.
Awesome.
And on that note, that is all I have.
All right. That's fair. Well, other shows while I have the time.
I highly recommend it. It blew away my expectations.
Yeah, I heard it's a phenomenal series. I've heard it from many people.
The people whose opinions I trust the most have raved about the show, so I'm like, all right, you guys are vouching for it. This is going to be solid stuff.
Oh, cool. And we